There's a threat in the world today. A threat to our way of living, a threat to our society, and maybe even a threat to our very existence. And what is this threat?
So let's switch gears here a little bit. Let's talk about some basketball.
Hooping it up.
Hooping. It has been
Black and white sports. Basketball.
Excuse me, I had to belch.
I wish I would have got that on an echo.
Well, that would have been. We'll do that. We'll coordinate that next time.
Let me know.
I need to back up because I'm looking at my notes and I got a little close. So you want to attack college or football or NBA first?
College.
We'll go college?
Yeah.
All right. So right now we still have Duke at the number one spot in the league. The number one spot in the country. Looking pretty good. I think they've been off a little bit. I haven't seen any Zion Williams. Apparently his name is Zion, as in Mount Zion. But he said he prefers, because they talked to his mother. And she said she named him Zion after, Mount Zion, Zion Tabernacle, all that kind of thing. But he said that he prefers Zion because it sounds cooler.
Way to get your ass kicked by your mama.
Rashard. My brother-in-law has changed his name from Allen to Rashard.
Oh, we got Jaqueline in here. We got A.A. Ron. We got Balaki.
A.A. Ron.
Jaqueline.
So, I don't know. Have you checked the score? Have you seen the score of the Georgetown Butler game?
No, I have not.
I have not. I know they are currently playing.
Butler is up, folks. Butler is up.
But isn't that cool that you got those old NBA players back in the college coaching? You got Patrick Ewing at Georgetown, who is actually turning that team around. That program in the last 2 years that he's been there, Georgetown is looking pretty good.
I think he's going to be the one to, if it's not a Thompson, behind on that bench.
It's been a while since it hasn't been a Thompson either.
Right.
So, but I think Ewing, but he comes from that Thompson lineage.
Yes.
But I like what Patrick is doing there. And this is not racist. The wife says, Patrick does look like a monkey. I'm sorry. Y'all get mad at me all you want. I don't care. Patrick does look like him. That's not a racist thing. I see it. All right, North Carolina's up 19 over Harvard.
Yeah, they're playing Harvard.
But I'm sure Harvard's GPA is much higher.
I'm sure they are.
But then the other thing that you got in the Big East is pretty exciting, along with Patrick Ewing and Georgetown. You got Chris Mullins at St. John's. Yeah. He's got his boys right now at 13-1, and they look real good. I watched them last night. They look he's not a monkey. Georgetown's up 10 on Butler.
There we go. There we go. Wow.
Deep throat that mic on. Oh, wow. So back to that. Anyway, yes, St. John's at Chris Mullins. He's got them guys playing real good. Really, you got those are probably your two top contenders for the Big East right now is Georgetown and St. John's. St. John's probably number one.
Yeah.
I like Xavier a little bit.
I don't know, man. You still got Xavier. You still got Seton Hall. Seton Hall's been coming back the past couple of years.
Who they just beat?
Xavier.
No, they just beat. That's Xavier. Who beat St. John's.
Who? Xavier? Oh, yeah.
Seton Hall.
There you go. See, they're coming back up. I don't know, man. I'm still kind of I'm still kind of flabbergasted on the monkey deal.
Oh God, I can tell. It's got you.
It's got me Twitter baited.
It's got you flabbergasted.
There you go.
Chuck
Love's on.
What up, Chuck? He said he was gonna try to make it. I know it was his birthday, so he was kind of touched up a little bit. But Chuck, go blue.
Hold on, this just in. Maryland just knocks off number 22 ranked Nebraska.
Oh, we were watching right there behind you.
Yeah, it's right behind you.
Behind you.
Hey, Nebraska's gonna make the tournament. Nebraska's gonna make the tournament.
I'm telling you,
They're gonna make the tournament for the first time, and they're gonna get their first win. That's gonna happen. Tournament? Yeah, I like Nebraska.
Oh, they've never won.
They've never been to the tournament.
Oh, well, I mean, that used to be the Cornhuskers, man. That was a football team.
Exactly, and Scott Foster's gonna have those guys looking pretty good next year too. By the way,
hold on. Cincinnati's over Tulane, pretty big. Wake Forest up 20 on Cornell. North Carolina up 20 on Harvard. Georgetown up 18 on Butler.
That changed quick.
What?
They were just up 10 45 seconds ago.
Let's see. Texas Tech's up with West Virginia by 4. Temple is trailing UCF by 6.
Oh, we didn't talk about UCF football.
No one cares.
That was the point. How LSU's football players said, hey, they're a pretty good team. You know, they had some dynamic things that they did. Right. He said, but they couldn't compete in the SEC week after week. That was the end of that conversation.
Yeah, that did. Wow. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, and Seton Hall just beat Xavier by 10 here a little bit ago. We were watching that. Oh. And I said a minute, Maryland upsets number 24 Nebraska by 2. Yeah. Oh, your boy Penny Hardaway is
Memphis.
Thank you, Chris.
He's in Memphis.
Memphis coach.
Yeah.
You think that's what's gonna happen over there with that program?
I'm anxious to see how that turns out. You know, I don't ever remember seeing Penny on anybody's bench. I mean, I don't know how far back his coaching went.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see him on any. Yeah, he's at Memphis. Yeah, they hired him over the summer. I haven't seen him on the NBA bench. I haven't seen him on the college bench. I don't know if he was in the G League or anything. I'm not quite sure.
High school.
I mean, but they are. I mean, he has rejuvenated the buzz around Memphis basketball.
Yeah, that he has.
You know, I did watch a half a game over a couple weeks ago. They look good. I mean, he's got recruiting coming in.
Right, but wouldn't you want to play for Penny Hardaway?
I mean, you want to play for a coach that played in the NBA, you know, I mean, at least 8 years.
Right.
So, I mean, he can get you to the league. He knows how the league plays. So, I mean, what better evaluator of talent than an NBA player?
Right. I agree.
I mean, the same thing with Patrick Ewing. Same thing with Chris Mullins up in.
Brother texting you?
Yes, that is your brother.
Wow.
He said Dak Prescott's father is Sinbad. That is amazing.
Hold on, folks. That was so damn good. I got to show the world.
That is great, Sean Stevens.
Hold on.
The wife says.
I'm gonna show it. What it said here.
That's hilarious. The wife says 7 Big Ten teams are ranked, leading the way with Michigan at number 2.
Michigan's some bad mammoths.
I don't know. I mean, I know Duke's number 1, but I don't know a team that's playing better than those guys right now.
Who?
Michigan.
Michigan's tough, man.
The boys is tough.
I don't see. Okay, so do you still see IU is in the top or in the Final Four over Michigan?
Why would they be over Michigan? They don't have to be in the same.
You're saying both Michigan and IU. So you're saying there's
that has absolutely nothing to do with the Final Four. They can be in 2 different
I'm just
brackets.
asking you.
Yeah, I thought I'd still have
Michigan's going to win the Big Ten.
I'd say yes.
Well, am I asking anybody else here?
As a fan of Michigan basketball, I'm going to say yes.
Calm down, Gary. Calm down, Gary.
As a fan of Michigan basketball, I'm going to say yes. But there are 2 three other teams in the Big Ten that can win the Big Ten. You can't count out OSU, and you definitely can't count out Izzo at Michigan State.
Yeah.
Minnesota looks pretty good. Minnesota has a really good team.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're not, but
and don't count out this Nebraska team, man. This Nebraska team is pretty good. IU's not winning the Big Ten, but I do like IU as a dark horse in the tournament. And the reason why I say that is because, or a dark horse for the Final Four, is the reason why I say this because the tournament is not big man play. The tournament is all guard play. And by the time the tournament comes up, those freshman guards in Finney and Romeo Langford are going to be dynamic when it comes tournament time. And they have bigs that can be productive with Morgan and forgot the other guy that's over there. But I like IU's team. I think IU is probably going to finish third or fourth in the Big Ten.
Okay, so I don't see Minnesota. I see Minnesota falling off. I see IU being in the top three. I'd say Michigan State, IU. I'm not saying in that order. I'm just saying in top three, somewhere around there. And I was a little sneaky this year.
Yeah.
I was a little sneaky. I think that they may find a way to possibly crack in that top three, but if not, they're going to be right there at 4.
I mean,
Ohio State.
I think the Big Ten takes 6 teams to the tournament. I do believe that. Teams? I think they take 6 teams to the tournament.
Okay.
Well, right now they got 7 teams ranked. But I do think they take 6 teams to the tournament, as well as the ACC. So I don't know. I think the Big Ten. I think that this year's national champion could possibly come out of the Big Ten.
I hope so, man. I mean, just because I'm a Midwest Indianapolis guy, I want to see the Midwest do good. I'm so sick and tired of seeing these South teams running up everywhere.
I mean, Duke looks really good, but I question Duke's bench.
Yeah.
I mean,
the top 3 recruits, but after that, it's very questionable.
Mm-hmm. But again, it's in my opinion the best coach ever in men's basketball, in basketball period.
Well,
best coach ever. So I think he'll have them ready. I don't like them winning the national championship this year.
I don't either. I'm a Carolina fan. I don't want to see Duke ever win it, but I would. I don't know. Like you said, though, Coach K, one of the best coaches ever. At that change in your life from high school to college, you get with a coach like that, he will make you into a player that you've always wanted to be. Regardless if you go on to regardless if you go on into the NBA or not, he still changed your life in a good, positive way.
So he makes you a better man as well as a better player.
Yep.
And that's the thing that most of his ex players, say. I mean, he's changed my life, not in the basketball realm, but in the realm of life. When his players come out of college, they're men. They're ready to attack the world and be successful. I mean, there aren't too many of them that aren't, where they should be in life.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you say? And then he's another coach that you go play for Duke, your opportunities to get into the league have increased by 70%. IU's third in the Big Ten, and you're only aware there's only been 3 games played. Who's first? Someplace up north. But the big news for Hoosier fans, the big news in college basketball right now is UCLA firing Steve Alford after a 7-6 start. Justified or not justified?
cut a coach like that at the beginning of the season.
Okay. In your statement, a coach like that. A coach like what? What has Steve Alford done?
A coach like okay, high school, yeah, whatever. Okay, they're not getting paid like these guys. You don't cut a coach. I didn't mean that type of coach or like that or whatever. I meant a coach, period. You either start and finish or you don't start at all.
But they're 13 games in. They still got
30.
They got 15, 16, 17, 20 games left.
Okay.
I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference in.
What are you going to change?
I think there's a difference in cutting a football coach midway when you only play 10 games or you only play 16 games.
What are you going to really be able to change? You haven't had a camp. You haven't had anything going into the season. Now all of a sudden we're going to cut this guy. Now we got to bring somebody in or change a coach and move him into the head coaching position. What are you gonna do?
I mean, you can change.
Say what? Well, something, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be. You're just changing. You're changing the I don't want to say the philosophy, but you are going to change because that coach can bring in a different mindset. And it can bring in a different morale for those particular players.
Okay, but what if those morales changes in the negative way because I wanted Alford as my coach.
All right, then you transfer.
I got to go. Okay, that's what I'm
saying.
saying. You can't really change a philosophy from 13 games into the season until, now going forward. You've got to either do it before the season or do it right after the season so you have that much time to get ready for it.
I don't know. I mean, with it being still early in the season, they haven't really even hit conference play yet. I think with basketball, I think it's a little different with basketball than it is with football and changing a coach in the season. But I do think what part of the season? I mean, you play 30 games. You still have 20 games left.
Okay, so
that's really your season is. Your season really doesn't really start to conference anyway. Till now. So I think you bringing in a different mindset, a different voice, you can actually change things around the program.
Where's UCLA been before Alford came there?
They hadn't won a championship since O'Bannon.
Okay. So do you think it's just him?
I don't think it's.
He's only been 2 years?
Nah, he's been there longer than 2 years.
Alford?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's been there longer. Ball's been in the league 3 years.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, he was winning in Southwest Missouri State.
What's that?
But yeah, he's been there a while. I mean, he was winning games at Southwest Missouri State, but you was in the Missouri Valley Conference. I mean, when you go to UCLA, that's UCLA. 10 national championships. You know what I mean? John Wooden, that's a legacy.
You're the Mecca
you know what I mean?
Basketball.
And coaches, if you don't win there, you don't last there. You know what I mean? They'll give you a couple years to turn something around. I mean, you were recruiting. You got a hotbed of college. I mean, you got a hotbed of athletes in California. And where do you bring in the balls?
Well, maybe that
you bring in the balls, and you go to China. And you get beat badly by Chinese teams. And then you got a guy who wants to steal, and it wasn't just one, it was 4 players.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? You just got to look at the type of kids that you're bringing in. I mean, you got the one kid from here, last year's Mr. Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got the one kid from here, Wilkes. That's his name, Wilkes.
Justin Wilkes?
That's about it.
Is it Justin Wilkes?
I know it's Wilkes.
He says,
I just know it's Wilkes.
That's too white for Wilkes, man.
Justin. I know some black Justins.